Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I made this website design and animation. So let's play the video. So I had this loading interaction going on with transitions into the landing page, and you can see that cool hover effect. When you click on the logo, boom, it animates into this twist effect thing going on. You can scroll through the website to see information about the agency, because that's what I was designing for, as well as the project the agency might have created in the past. And when you scroll down, you can see clients, and as well as the footer just below it. So this is what we'll be designing, and mind you, this was done on 3 software, and I'll be splitting these tutorials into 3 as well. The first one is After Effects, second was Figma, and lastly Protopie. But I will not be covering much of After Effects and Figma. I'll just be reviewing everything that we'll need to dive into Protopie. So just feel free to scrub through each sections you might be interested in. And also I'll be attaching the link to every resources and files that I used in this design in the description below. Okay, let's get into it. Okay guys, we're back into After Effects. Before we get started, just make sure you have After Effects installed on your computer. When you do so, click the After Effects file in the link I attached in the description to open this up. So I'm not going to be showing you guys how I made this twist animation, but I'm going to show you guys how you're able to customize this into your own liking. So let's just play this one more time. Oh, that's playing really fast. Just gonna hit the space bar on my keyboard, and that's better now. So this is a simple twist animation that was done using time displacement and the 3D view thing we have here on After Effects. So we won't be covering that. So I'm just going to be showing you guys how you could customize this to your own liking. Maybe you don't want to use the text horizon, maybe you want something different. So let me show you how I did that. So it's just simply editing the text. So when you come on this file, you're gonna see main and source here. So we're gonna toggle to source, and you see the horizon text here. When you see that, we click on this, but just make sure you double click and you find this it being highlighted. And when you do that, we could just rename this to something else. Maybe it's momentum you want to call yours, or it could be selected, or it could just be something different, like let's say Cynthia. Everything is still gonna work fine. All you have to do is just to go back here, and you're gonna see this prompt that says to refresh. So make sure you have your caps lock off. So when we click that, this appears, and if I hit my space bar now, that's just gonna take a couple of time to load, but you can see it's already rotating and animating the way we want. So just give it some time, and if yours is loading fast, I recommend you switch your resolution to quarter, because that's what I'm using too as well. So let's just sort of wait for this thing to load. I'm just probably gonna speed up this video. Okay, so now that's loaded, you can see everything works fine. So you can just edit the text if you want to, but I'm just gonna stick to what I had here. Change it back to caps lock horizon, and go back here, hit these, and I'm just gonna take it back there. So that's easy. That's how you edit it. And for the font, I guess when you probably open this file, you'll probably get error message saying missing fonts or trying to load fonts. What I'm using here is called Transducer. It's an Adobe font. Let me show you where I got it from. Yeah, it's right here. So you could just head on to Adobe Font and you search for Transducer, and it's paid though. It's paid because it's licensed for personal and commercial use, and there you could just install whatever size you want, but the one I'm using is, I believe it's called Extended Black. Let me see if I have it. Where I don't see it. Yep, Extended Black. So this is the one I used for the file. So if you want to use it, you can, but you can still use something different. So, but the only thing that sucks in this is that this is paid. If you want the free one, you could. I'm gonna attach the link for those of you that want the free one. You could head over to this website and you just search for Transducer and you're gonna see it here. It's just right here. So I'm just gonna link these down so it's easy for you to find. So Transducer Stand Bold. Scroll down and you just hit the download button here, and on here you can still download different letter type you want. So, but just to remind you, this is only used for personal. You're not supposed to use it for commercial or purposes like selling it, or let's say you make a design for a company or client and then you're getting paid for it and you use the font. So they have a license policy agreement here, so you can see it says font for personal use or demo version. So please do not use these for commercial purposes. So I think that's all. Then we could finally go back here. So we're back here after Effects. So once that's loaded, we're just gonna go to, you hit source. Sorry, my bad. Once that's loaded, you're gonna hit main and go to composition, add to render queue, and you scroll. This is the render settings. So we're gonna hit auto model lossless and just make sure this is AVI, and you hit OK, and you could just choose, this is the app, you could just choose probably where you want to save it on your desktop. And once that's done, you hit save and you click this render. I'm not going to be rendering mine because I already have it. Well, the only slight issue with this is that it could take quite some time to render out, because if you have, let's say, a low GPU or something, depending on the computer, this could take quite a while for you. But what I did myself, I clicked, okay, going back to main, this is what I use. I just use Adobe Media Encoder, so it's another Adobe software you can install on your own. So let's just click that and wait for it to load. Da-da-da-da. So when this opens, it's just gonna automatically insert the comp for us to render, and we can just click on this, and this export settings just come. You can see the file size here is 6 megabytes. So which is really good, because if we're to render that out now from After Effects without using this, we'll be getting really crazy file size. So if you want to use this, you can, but then this only works for that kind of animation. This would only work if you have a really good GPU or computer. So but if it's the case for you, you just match source this and the output where you want to save it on your computer. Make sure this is checked, and all you just have to do is hit OK. And when that's done, you just hit this play button here. Oh, I won't be playing mine again because I already have this. So this is two ways for you to render your animation, and just let me know if you guys have any issues with rendering the file. But since I already gave you the file, so it shouldn't be that easy for you to do all of this again yourself. So this will be all in After Effects, so I would see you in Figma. Okay, we're back into Figma and I'll just be going through everything. So this will be, I'll be dropping the link to this file so you guys can use this, but I won't be designing everything from scratch because this is just a pretty simple landing page design I made. It's mainly, if you can see, it's mainly for with just text. And up here we have all these other 4 images for the project that we're gonna be using inside Protopie, and you feel free to use this for other of your project, because I made this with Midjourney, so it's basically mine and free to use. Yeah, so let's review this. So what I did here, just added some guides here. 40, the margin between the two is just 40, and this is just a menu button with the text. This is editable, so let's say you wanted something else, you could change it to the way you want. And also I added this mouse button just right here at the top, as well as a tagline. When we scroll down, it's just basically information about the design agency like we saw in the video. Same thing here, but just this was done with auto layout, pretty simple. You just come here and you just change this to whatever you want to. So I just set it in a way that's easy for you guys to edit. So that's all we're gonna be looking at here on Figma, and let's go into the main interaction, which is Protopie. So I'm gonna see you guys there. Hey guys, now we're in Protopie, the final place we're gonna be looking at in this video. So when you open Protopie, obviously you're gonna create a new file. By default, you're gonna see this, but we'll be changing this to something around here. Let's use this. Oh no, let's use, I'm gonna make this custom. I'm gonna take these down to 900 because I think that was what I used inside of Figma. For the system status bar, we're just gonna leave it as none because this is not an application, and we hit OK. So this just comes in for us. For the background, it's white, so we don't really have to tweak anything. So first thing first, let's go import all of our files from Figma. So I'm on Figma. It's so easy to do. You just click on this frame, right click, you go to plugins, and you're gonna see Protopie. When this pops in, you're gonna see export as one scene, means it's just scene. Hit export, that just loads in. And boom, everything is in. Everything we have here is inside, so it's just pretty easy to do all of that here. Let me just review if these lines are showing. The guys are so much that I can even see if I had the lines in here. It's not very obvious. Okay, I'm just trying to see if the line is obvious. Okay, it's right here, because I think because of the guides, the red lines, I'm unable to see it. Let me see if I hit preview. Oops, we haven't added any scroll interaction yet. Okay, but that's good. I just noticed that my naming convention was really bad. It has Aurora on this last two ones, so let me just quickly delete that text. Software AI, and the second one is, I'm just gonna call this, and also this, let's call this AW. I'm gonna show you why I try to name, because I really suck at naming my layers everywhere, but it's really important, especially if you're making animations or interactions on Protopie. It's really good to name your layout so you don't get confused when you're adding triggers or responses. So lastly, let's just change this to S. This abbreviation just means the project name, so I just did it like this: P for panorama, A for this, S for this, and AW for this. So I know you could change it to the way you want. This is just how I like to name things, the way I remember. So okay, let's get started. So let's just take a look at that video one more time and see everything we'll be adding on here. So first was loading animation. So I think it's better if we tackle that one first. Okay, I'm gonna create a new scene. So you just head over to scenes and you see the tiny add button. You click that. Let's move these here, and we just call this loader. You can call it anything. Okay, so this is really gonna be simple, and I didn't make this loading numbers dynamic because I sort of cut it in a way. You see just 5 different numbers. I think the first is 25, 48, 67, 82, and 100%. So we're just gonna do it the easy way. So you hit text here or T on your keyboard, and let's keep this 25. Oops, let's go from 00 first. 0 percentage, and let me move these. Just gonna center this and put this here. And let's change the font. By default they use the system font, but I believe this is the font I used. I'll also attach every font I used to on the link below. Just checking to see if this is actually good. Okay, and I'm just gonna center this. A line on the center and the middle. So let me just zoom in to see this clearly. So this looks good. Now let's just add the trigger. So let's click this text. You could set the origin here 50-50, and let's add a start trigger. And I'm gonna call for a text and hit this one, and the first one we wanna call is, let's say, 25%. So let's just delay this to 1 second so it doesn't like showing very fast. And let me just see this. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna be changing the mouse because this is not a phone if we were working with web. So let me change this to arrow. So just click on the setting here and change this to arrow if you want to get something like this. I think this is better because this is a website design. Okay, back to this. So I'm just gonna add the other one again. Easy way, we could just call this 025 or 25 and duplicate this and call this let's say 48% is the next text we want to see, and we just change that in there, as well as delay this. We just add our 1.5 should be good, and do the same thing, duplicate. Let's call this time, it could be, let's say 67. You change that again, and let's go to 2. Just gonna do this again into, let's change this, oops, and 2.5. Lastly, let's get to 100. And let's change this to 3. So let's see what it looks like. Let me restart this. 25, 48, 67, 80 to 100. This looks really good. So this is how I did that loading animation. And but let's make the swipe, because in the video, if I play it again, we had the swipe thing that popped up. So you see that green and white transition. So let's do that right now. Okay, so let's make the swipe interaction now. So just simply, okay, let's call this loading. We call this loading text, and I'm gonna create a new rectangle. Let's go to shapes, and just about the size of the scene. Let's just make sure this is and I want it centered. Oops, I reduced the opacity, and we want this centered 0, 0, and let's change this to white. So I'm just gonna call this white, and we'll be creating another one, and we'll call this green. So let me just quickly copy what we used here on the file. So if you head to green, you click on this, and you can easily hit Ctrl C or Command C on your keyboard to copy that in. And back here, and you hit paste. So that's that. So but I want the white to stay on top and the green to come before it, and what you just simply do, you hit the white and hold shift and click so it selects both of them, and we're gonna drag this while holding shift just to the bottom of the scene. So just make sure the position is at 0 and the white position is at 900. So once that's done, let's start making the swipe interaction. Really easy. We're just gonna use the move trigger. So I'm gonna select these two just because they have the similar values, and hit this plus, and we're gonna hit move. And where we want to be moving this obviously is at 0. Oops, you just selected one, so I guess we'll have to hit green as well and add that in as well. Hit 0 on this one, but we'll be delaying the timing. You see, the thing with Protopie, why people think it's not that complicated, you just have to work with timing. If you can get proper timing, your interactions are really gonna be amazing. So for the duration, let's set it to 0.5, and for the delay, because this delay at 3 is gonna start at 3, so let's probably start these at 3.5. Same thing with this one, 0.5 for duration, and we set this to 4. So let's see how that is. Preview. Let me refresh this. We're not getting anything, and why is that? Let's see. Let me see. Okay, I'm trying to find why this animation isn't working. Let's see, we had everything right, the colors, the rectangle. Oh, that's why the green is supposed to go on top, so just make sure you move the green before the white rectangle. And we'll also be changing this back to 3.5 and this to 4. So let's see if this works now. Yep, that works, my bad. Okay, we've covered the first part of the animation, so let's just jump into the other one. So I think the only thing I missed was the transition into the landing page, which is this. So what we're gonna just do is add the jump trigger and select the scene, this one, because that's the only one we have here. Let's change the transition type to fade, and the start delay, just because we ended at 4 here, maybe we're gonna delay this at 5. So let's see. That happens and this comes in. Cool, really cool. Let me play that one more time. We have the texting and then that swipe, and this is getting really nice. So okay, so we're done with this scene. So let's go to the next one, which is this one. So I noticed in the video I did have some sort of move in transition between the menu, so you can see it came from the from there, and also the tagline sort of faded in a way. So you can have that if you want to, but I'm just gonna leave in like this for now. But I would attach this file ID before in the description if you want, if you like this my exact interaction. Okay, moving on, let's get into here. Okay, so first thing first, we'll be creating a container, scroll container, but we wouldn't want to scroll in this menu button because we want it to be fixed. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna find this menu button here and just collapse it, and let's move this to the top. Oops. Let's move this here as well as this button. It's called click over. You see, this is why it's really good to name your layers. It's easy, it's just really easy to find. And let's just move that here. Oh, I see the menu button is still here. Cool, now we can go to container. You add the scroll container. Just make sure, I just like to come here and change the sizing of the original frame I created on Figma. And it's centered, so we would move these two above this, and let's call this scroll main container. And all of these I'm just gonna hit these, and you click on project, scroll down, and you click the last one, which is called footer. Just hold shift and click. It's just gonna select everything for us, and we're gonna move it inside the scroll main container. So it's in there. Let's just preview to see. See, now I can scroll. Awesome, it's already looking like an actual website even without the micro interaction going on. Okay, let's proceed. So from the video, let's go back to the video we use as the reference. So when I came in here, you can see that the mouse had that point, and the click pointer is hovering with the hour mouse. So let's be doing that. And you notice when I went away from the logo text, it went into the small bow shape, but when I go in, it's at click. So let's be creating that right now before the rest. So before we get started, we're gonna be creating a replica of this. So I'm gonna go to shape and hit over and just hit anywhere. Oops, I do not like this. So let's just say we want this to be at the size 22 and 22. That looks, I think this looks okay for our mouse. And we can also give the same color and just pick the color here. And let's make sure this is accurate. So we're gonna copy this text. It's gonna hit, you can hit Alt, drag to make sure this is away from here, and I'll also make sure this is above here, and we'll be putting this just inside there and set the origin to 50 as well. For the size, we're gonna take this back to 0 so we don't see it, it's just in there, and we'll hit these two and hit Ctrl G or Command G on your keyboard, and we group this. So let's call this cursor. And this is what we're gonna use for now. So before you see, I know you're probably thinking, oh, why not use this? You're gonna see. So, you know, I'm just gonna move this out just a little bit, and let's have this on here. So before, nothing works. If I try to preview this, nothing works. Our mouse isn't full on this green dots. So let's make that work using variables. So you're gonna go to variable just below here and you hit this. It's gonna be for this scene since it's just this only page while creating for. We hit this here and we can just call this, let's say, X mouse, because we need the X and Y values for our mouse to move around. And hit use formula, and we're gonna hit use formula, and we select this and hit that button, and we're gonna just search for mouse. The moment you type, you're gonna see too, but we want to choose for X and hit OK. We'll create the second variable for this scene, and let's call this Y mouse. Same thing we did, hit that click, hit this formula option here and choose select mouse. Then you hit the Y and click OK. So nothing still works. We need to add a trigger for detect, and what we'll be detecting first is X mouse, and the response we want to use is move, and what will be moving would be this cursor. And for X, you hit click the formula here, and let's call mouse X and just hit OK. So before we preview, let's just duplicate this. So let's just say detect X mouse and add another trigger. Or instead of doing that, you can just duplicate this and we can change this to Y mouse, and you could choose to just see your your names, the layer names. And we're just gonna change this to Y. Oops, that's wrong. Sorry. We'll be deleting this and we'll just be adding the Y here. Mouse Y. Hit OK. So let's see. Hey, we got it. But I noticed something. You see the way it's moving? It's not moving really smooth. It's like everywhere I move on the screen, it just really follows me. So I sort of wanted to, you see when I rotate, it just stays there. I sort of wanted to have this smooth transitions. So let's see. The only thing we're gonna play is the easing. So if you click on this move, let's just change this to linear because that's how we want it to feel. Same thing here, and let's preview. Yeah, this is better than what we had before. I think I like this one. Yeah, I like this one. Sometimes you can restart if you feel like your animations. Sometimes you could restart if you feel like your animations are not loading in time. But what we have here is really good. So let's proceed. Okay, now that's done. Before we do anything, let's bring in our video because this is just a fixed text we got here and we won't be using that. So I'm just gonna import the video in. And drop it here. It's really way too large. Well, you can just resize this. So I just try to resize this to sort of fit the text. So let me bring this just below here so I could see the size. I think this is okay. Let's increase it just a little bit. Yep, I think this is okay. It doesn't have to be perfect though. Oh, I think I got it to be perfect. Just slightly perfect. Okay, and let's hit that, and we're gonna hit this so it's centered. And I think if you don't want to delete the text, you could just hide it for reference. I don't like to delete most of everything that I imported inside just in case I fall back to using it later. So we're just gonna hide that one there, and it's a video already. So let's just see if I click on this logo animation and I hit play automatically and hit looping, and if I try to preview this, you can see it's, let me refresh this, you see this plays. Yep, and it just really blended well with the background. It's not even obvious that this was imported inside here. Yeah, but you could change the color of the background you want. What I had here was white. So let's proceed. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna create something I like to call hover area. So you hit the container as well. So what I'm trying to do is to just create a size of where I want the cursor to, I want to click the cursor for the transition or animation rather. Let me just move this here. I think this is okay. Yeah, this is okay. So I'm gonna call this hover area and remove this inside here. Yep. Okay, now we can proceed. Before we do that, let's just uncheck this because I don't want this to play unless I tell it to play. and add a trigger. We'll be using mouse over. So we'll be doing the scale. So what I want to do here is to have these back. When I hover around this the video, this stuff just comes in and tell us to click, so the animation happens. So let's scale. We'll be dealing with the oval, this oval right here, and let's scale it to fit these. So if I want to find out the size of these, you just have to click that there, and I see this is 92 and this is 45, as well as the rotation angle was 330. So these are the things we'll be calling out as well. For the text was 3215. So let's start with this one first. The oval shape was 92 and 45. So that's what I want to scale these to, as well as the scaling the text. The text is 3215. Oops, I accidentally clicked the wrong one, my bad. Let's change it back to 92.45. And lastly, it's the rotation. For this, it's gonna be, oh my god, sorry, I think I was calling the wrong thing, was I? Oh, I wasn't. Okay, no, I wasn't, my bad. I noticed this text doesn't say much, so let's go back to cursor here and expand this. So to only make this work, let's make this editable. We just click that here, and you can see the stuff came in. So we just know that there is 3217. When we're gonna take this size back to 0, and I'm just gonna change this to 17 so it's more accurate. And lastly is the rotation. For the circle, just gonna do 330, and maybe we're gonna have change the easing to linear so it's smooth. Let's see all of that. Oh, I can see that now, except we called the other one, but let me preview to see. Oops, this is behaving funny because we haven't moused out from here, so it just keeps rotating. Okay, let's do that now. Add another one. We're gonna add mouse out for this one. So it's just basically taking all of these back to its default state. Okay, so let me just, to make this easy, I'm gonna hold everything, duplicate this and bring it down here. So just be changing these values back to 0, and I'll change the text back to 0, as well as the rotation is going back to 0. Well, I'll be adding the reset here for the oval. I want it to reset back so it doesn't have that funny behavior. Let's say 25. Okay, let's see it now. Let me just refresh these. So you can see that thing that happens when I mouse out from here. We just have that. It looks like it's something is behind it. So let's go take a look. Okay, let's try to preview this one more time to see. Oh, this went into this size. Okay, I kind of like how it is. So let's see. Start this, I click here, I go out. Sort of takes time to go out of there, so let's just see what we can fix. So for the rotation, I think I wanna leave this at 0 and also leave this at 0 so it goes in really quickly. Let's see. Okay, that looks really good. Now I think I like this one. Yeah, I really like this. Okay, so what is left is to click this and the video playing. So let's do that now. Just gonna tap on this, hit the tab trigger, and we're just gonna look for playback. This is the only video we have here, and that's just what we're gonna do. But let's click on reset because we don't want this to play every time we click it on here. Maybe we could delete this to maybe 5. So let me load this, and this just click. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Let's do this one more time. Come in here, click. Perfect. Okay, now I can just take this out. I'm not gonna get rid of it just yet, but I can just take this out and maybe hide it. Okay, on to the next one. Let's see what we're gonna do next on the video. Let me play this. So we've covered this part, the loading, the swipe transition, we've covered the mouse hover effect, and we've added the video. And when I scroll, I think it's gonna be this micro interaction thing I did here. Okay, let's do that. That's really gonna be easy. I wanna see everything. Okay, so what I did here, so we're just gonna go to click this here, and what I did there, I had to max this. So hit this shape, or let me call this white, and click this, and also duplicate these, and we're gonna call this green as well. Let me just give it that color. Okay, let me not hide this and just use it as a reference for the color. Okay, click this and just choose that one, but I would be taking this just below it. So you hold this and then you, well, before I do that, let's max something. So I'm gonna click this, and just here we're gonna select use as max. So now I can hold the green and move these down. You can see I can move this like sorry, you can move this anyway here on the screen. So let's just move this down holding shift because I want to call for it. So what I'm gonna do is to add another hover, mouse over. So let me just name this is for hover area. Over area as well. So let's add this for where is the button. So we're gonna add this trigger, and when that happens we want to move these to, I think, 0. Let's just see where the white is. Yeah, definitely 0. Let me try to move it first. The green. So we're moving to 0. Just the white, that's all we're gonna do. So let's see how that is. Okay, that's not bad, but we'll have to play with the easing just a little bit. But before we do that, let's just duplicate these. Let me rename this rather mouse over about button, I guess we could say that, and mouse out about button. Move the green back to its position. Let's see. Oh, it works, but it really goes fast. So I want to play with the easing. So I'm just gonna hit this and click spring, or reduce the tension to about, say, 80 and friction 22. And let's do the same for here. So now let's see. So I like the way it's really slow. Looks really nice, like it takes its time to fill up. Perfect. We're getting here, So let's look at that video again and see what the last thing for us to do is. This, believe me, this was really complex to achieve, but I was able to walk my way around it, and I'm gonna be making it really easy for you guys to understand it as well. So let's get into it. So what I did here was I added it's mainly playing with the mouse effect, and as it's hovering around each of these project titles, the picture changes as well. So let's see how we're gonna do that now. So before we begin, let's import the images we have here on Figma. Just do that, right click, go to plugin and hit Protopie. You see it's 4 objects, and we export. That just takes its time to load in. Okay. So I'm just gonna leave this here at the top, and let me see the size, if this is the size I want for the images, because I feel like this is really huge. Let's see if we could bring this down to 526 and 346. Oops, 526. And I'm just gonna do fill, or fit is gonna do that, so I'm just gonna do a fill. You also like stretch these maybe even further so it sort of displays everything here. So I think this is okay. So 526 and 499 is the size we'll be using for the images, because if I preview this and scroll down, oops, it's not in. Oh, I have to move it inside the scroll container. Oh, let's move it inside here first. Oops. Okay. Still looks a little bit big. Let's try to resize this by holding shift. I think this looks better. Yeah. So size 346, 328. Okay. So we're gonna do the same thing for this. So what I'm just gonna do easily is to select the three of them and uncheck this lock and change this to 346. Oh my god, I forgot the thing. 346. Okay, 328. So we'll change this to 328. And select this one and make sure we fill each of them so all of them look stretched out, which looks really nice now. Okay, so I'm gonna take this one out just a little bit and take this one out of here, and I would like to arrange these to fit in. Okay, that's all. Just make sure you stack everything behind, so from 1 to 4 they're all behind each other. And I'm gonna select these and hit Ctrl G or Command G on your keyboard, so you put it into a group, and let's call this image container, and we can move this back inside here. Great. So from here, the only thing we're gonna be using is mouse out, mouse over, mouse out, mouse over, mouse out, trigger for each of it. So it's just pretty easy. But before we do that, let's set in this similar thing we did for the cursor. So I'm going to duplicate this and let's move this down here. So it sort of stays down here, and we can change this to image. Just so we remember. And we just change this to image container. See. So you can see this image, it's following itself, which is what we want. Let's just make sure this is set, the origin is set like this, and everything inside as well is set here. Okay, and now we can start animating making interaction for this. So I'm gonna create another container because I want the container to just fit right about here. Why is this? Here basically, and we're gonna move all of these. Just click that here down to the last one, and let's move them here. Let's call this main project container. So the first thing I'm gonna do is to go to mouse over because that's what we're doing mostly. So let's call a mouse over main container. So we select main project container. So we're gonna be adding something we call a condition because we want to be telling you what to do. So when you click on that, for this we'll be calling the image container, and it's not the X value we want, it's gonna be the opacity. We're gonna leave this as equal to, and let me hit 100 here. So what is basically it's saying, when I hover around this project tab, I want the image to come in, but I also want the green cursor to go away, so it's only this cursor. Because if we hover around this, if we preview this again, you can see we have two the green and the image following each other, and that's not what I want. I want when I come in here, it's only the image hovering around there. Okay, so I've set that condition. Now I'm gonna add the opacity for the image container, and I'm gonna make these 100, and I'm also gonna add the opacity. This time it's gonna be for the cursor, and I will make this 0. So let's see. So now I come in here, you see when I come in here it doesn't show, but when I go out of here, oops, this is not what I want. Why is the cursor not showing? So let's see probably what I missed. Oh, this is supposed to be 0, my bad. This is supposed to go back to 100. Okay, let's preview this again. Let me refresh. Okay, I'm here. But I went away, this doesn't show, or the image isn't showing. Let me see, everything is set properly. Where is this? Oh, we don't want to display this yet, so let's click the image container and make sure the opacity is set to 0, and let's preview this. Okay. Nope. Let's see. Oh, this is set to, this is gonna be 0. Yeah, sorry about that. So let's see this again. Okay, perfect. Now it shows when I go over it. I haven't set that one yet, but when we come on here, you can see this hovering around here. Okay. Okay, so before we proceed, maybe we could set the easing for this to linear, so it feels a little bit smooth. And we're gonna do the same thing. So we're gonna have mouse out, But let me name these to, let's say, mouse over project. And I'm just gonna duplicate. No, I don't have to duplicate it because we're using a different response trigger right now. So mouse out project, and we're gonna set it for this. What I'm just gonna do is to duplicate this and put it in here. Just drag it inside here, and it's gonna be the reverse. So 100, and this is gonna go away, and we want to bring the cursor back. So let's see. This still works, and when I'm here, well, that works. But when I go out, it goes away. When I come back here, it stays in. Perfect. Okay, so we can proceed now. Okay, let's go back and continue. Okay, let's get into it. So this is gonna be the last one. Sorry, this video might be taking too long. Okay, so we're gonna call in mouse over again. This is gonna be for panorama, and where is it? So we call in this first box, which is this. So what we're gonna say when we mouse over this, we want that image to show. So go to opacity, and we click, where is it, this one, number 1, and we increase this. And also we want something else to happen, is we want to move this. So before we add the response, I'm gonna drag these. So this is at 0, and if I move this holding shift, let's say just a little bit, 75 maybe. Okay, I'll take this back to 0. So we want to move the text. So let's call this is why I named this. You see, this is why I named my layer, so it's easy for me to find whatever I want to. So let's say we want to move this to 75, and when it's out, so let me just call this P, and it's easy to tell. So when it's out of there, we want the opacity of the image on move 1 to go away, and we want to move the text back to 0. So let's see. Come here, over around this, go out, over around this, go out. So this looks really cool. So that thing we have going on, it's really cool. I think I've used, oh, I didn't notice the image. You can see the image is changing too as well. So when I pull here, but we just need to set the interaction for the second project. I don't think mine, the text animation wasn't like mine, but I think I'm liking this one we're doing now, because I think mine is on the reverse. So let's proceed on to the next one. Okay, so we're just gonna do something similar to this. So not to waste time, I'm gonna duplicate these two, but let's change this to A for Aurora. And for this one, what we're saying is we want the second image to be 100, and we want to move the text box down there. And for this, we don't really need, so we're gonna delete that one. Let me just rename this to A, and make sure this is for this here. Same thing with here. I'm gonna change this A. So you really need to be careful when you're setting triggers and you know what you're selecting, because you can get it messed up. And for the move, I'm gonna call this text box right here, and I'm moving this to 75 and bringing it back. So let's see. Okay. Nothing happens here. Why? Let me try to restart this. Yeah, nothing happens here. Let's see what the problem is. Oops. This is for this. My naming really did suck. Oh my god. Let me quickly fix this. So that's supposed to be for that one, and I'm just gonna speed up the video and fix this. Okay, we're back. We're back. So let me call this back here, and it's gonna be for this. Just make sure you're selecting the right one. Let's see. Okay. Ooh, looks really nice. Okay, that works perfectly. So let's just finish up the rest of them. Okay, so same thing. Let's click these two, duplicate it. I'll change this to mouse over S, and I'll be calling the third one. The opacity, we're gonna leave this at for 2. We're gonna just hide this, and we're gonna call a second one, but this time it's gonna be for 3, and we wanna make that visible. And for the text box, just hit S here, and it's still set to 75. So for this one, let's rename this. So I think you guys are getting the hang of this. It's really easy. Just make sure you're choosing the right, selecting the right layers. I'm gonna choose the third one and move this text back to a normal here. So let's see. Ooh, that works. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, then go out. 1, 2, 3, it's in, go out. You see how the mouse just goes out quickly. Okay, it's just the last one that's left. Yay, almost done. So for the final one, yeah, just similar to these, and we're gonna use mouse over AW, and make sure we're calling the last one. For the opacity, it's gonna be for the 3. We would be making this go away, and for this one we want to call the 4th one. And these, let me change this to W. Also call these here, and the move will be this. Let's see, this should be working fine now. Okay, this 2, 3. Okay, what is happening? Mouse over this is we're taking this away, which is what we're doing, and bringing back the 4th one, and removing the okay we're moving this text box, sorry. Okay, let's do this again. Let me refresh. It's glitching. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 really looks cool. That is pretty much it. Let's just go back and play all of these from here and see what we have. So I'm just gonna restart this. We have this going on, swipe, boom, this comes in, and I move here, the thing shows, I click, go out, and that stuff happens. Scroll over around here, go out, that little micro interaction thing happens, and on here we have these. Awesome, so we've reached the end of this tutorial. I hope you guys like this, and just forgot to say, if you want to record these, you just hit these here and it just records your screen. You could upload this on your social media, but just make sure you tag me. I'm gonna be attaching all my social links. Just make sure you tag me so I see what you did. So you could try to download the Figma file that I linked to this video file, and I showed you guys on After Effects also how you could tweak the name. It could be for Horizon, or you want to choose something different on your own. And don't forget to tag me so I leave you a comment, and hopefully share this your work too as well. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. I know it's long. If you feel like it's difficult, please go back and review everything I did and just try to do them on your own. Feel free to leave a comment in the description below, and I'll be happy to assist you with any challenges. Thank you guys again. Bye.